What's up, everybody? Today I am going to show you how to build an infinite email content creation machine. So this is the exact process I use for all of my 7, 8, and 9-figure health and supplement clients. If you don't know me by now, my name is Nick Yates. I'm the founder of Yates Digital Marketing. We've done 8 figures in email marketing results for health and supplement brands who focus on copy-centric emails. So let's dive into this. If there's one thing that the prospects I speak with struggle to do, it's write more emails. They're not consistently writing enough and pumping out enough emails. So in this guide, I'll walk you through the exact process I use to create endless email content ideas that deepen your relationship with your readers and print cash on demand. We'll do this without spamming your list with fake never-ending discounts like most of your competition is probably doing and you might be doing yourself, and without hiring more staff and further inflating your currently inflated expenses. And most important, without spending hours writing email after email. So if you're a founder, CEO, CMO, COO, any C person that isn't ready to hire for this role, this is going to be especially helpful for you because you'll be able to write in your brand's voice just like the way you intended it to be without spending hour after hour trying to get this put together. So before we continue, do not read this guide if you do not have the inventory to handle more sales. The more emails you send, the more money you're going to generate, but you have to be able to fulfill on these sales. So make sure you can handle the influx of sales before you start increasing your emails. Now, if you want to skip all this manual work and have my team do it for you, there's a button here that you can check out. So first thing we need to cover is why you should send more emails. There's really just 3 ways to increase your revenue from email. So the first one is going to be adding more traffic. The next one's going to be increasing your flow conversions and the overall performance of your flows. And third one's going to be campaigns. First two are quite obvious for most brands staring at their Klaviyo account, and most brands that are doing this aren't really sure what else to do. They've increased traffic, they've increased flows, and their automations are running properly, but they're not seeing the results that they want. So more traffic, more money. Better flows, more money. But campaigns, that's kind of where things go off the rails for a lot of brands. Not many of you reading this are familiar with a good campaign calendar and cadence. Most of the brands that I come in and audit, prospects that I'm speaking with, are not doing this properly. They're running the same promos that everybody else is running. They're just focusing on holidays that everybody else is sending emails during that time. They're not doing much for list building and value building in between those promos, and it really shows. For instance, health and supplement brands, the default for them is to send a Figma file email to their list. Typically, it's got a hero image with a product bottle at the top, headline, shop now button in that hero image, and then maybe some bullets underneath it, which again typically has another shop now button. Very, very common. This is not what I've seen work best for my clients. Instead, we send emails that look and feel more personal. They look completely boring for the normal eye, the normal person to the normal eye. But our readers can't wait to open them and read what we have to say. 99% of brands can't say that. With this campaign strategy that I'm about to show you, we can send more emails without losing subscribers while also increasing overall revenue. Now, let me show you the tactical how you actually do this stuff. So we've covered why you should send more emails, the types of emails that I believe in, which are typically more copy-centric. That does not mean plain text, but it is more a branded hero image at the top and then more copy instead of just one giant wall of fully designed Figma file or one giant image as an email. So as I get into this, keep that in mind. This is how you build your infinite email content system. So honestly, this is going to be one of the most important things that you can do for your brand and yourself. If you're the one writing the emails, if you're the list manager, the founder, whoever, this is going to make your life so much easier. So there's a few steps that you need to follow in this exact order. So don't jump ahead right to the cool stuff, which is where I show you my email templates, the way I use AI and all that. So first you need to identify who you're speaking to. This is the first thing I do before I write any email copy. Before I even start thinking of anything, no ideas or anything should happen before I figure out who I'm speaking to. This should be exactly what you do first as well. If you're the founder, if you're the CEO, you might know this very, very, on a very deep level. But some of you that are managing a list, you might not know this yet. So there's a massive difference between selling supplements to a 25-year-old bodybuilder and a 62-year-old with hip pain. I'm going to speak to them entirely differently. They have different problems in their life. The 25-year-old bodybuilder is working with a different income than the 62-year-old with hip pain. The 25-year-old bodybuilder is looking at things completely differently than a 62-year-old. They might be looking at things like, what influencers are using this? What kind of social proof is it? The 62-year-old, they're more skeptical. They're looking at things like, is this going to be like every other product I took that didn't help me or not? So how do we speak to them differently, and how do we set up this buyer persona that I'm referring to? So I use ChatGPT for this. You can use whatever. I'm not an AI expert, and you don't have to be one to do this, so don't let this scare you. But I work with ChatGPT to build what I call a buyer persona. You can click this Google Doc here. This will open up for you in a new tab, and it's going to show you an example of what a buyer persona sheet looks like whenever I finish it for a client. So you can set this up however you want. Some of this stuff you might not use. Other things you will use more frequently. You can move those around, bring them to the top, whatever it is. Quick video that you can click on and watch. This is going to show you the exact conversation that I have and the style that I do it. I don't have some crazy prompt. It's literally just a conversation that I've done a handful of times. So I know how to talk to ChatGPT to get it to spit out the information that I want. But I did record this video for you to watch. I would watch it at a higher speed. I don't talk or anything in it, so it's kind of boring, but you'll get the idea. After I went through this exercise, I just keep refining it. I'm asking ChatGPT for more specific examples as needed for each specific area. Then once I'm happy with it, I add it to the doc like I showed you, and I keep it handy for future reference. If you're a founder, CEO, C-suite executive, this is a great thing to get in the habit of, because then you can pass it off whenever you do delegate this. Whenever you're building out your SOPs and how you do things, this is going to be a big one for you. So after I get done with the buyer persona, I move into the next section, which is all about writing emails. So now you know who you're speaking to, and we're going to move into the styles of emails that I found that work best. Supplement industry and health in general, it's not apparel, so we can get away with more copy-centric emails than an apparel brand. We don't have to show our bottles. No one cares what your bottle looks like for your supplements. Apparel brands, yeah, we want to see it. If I'm writing for Lululemon, completely different. So what I've got here are 9 different styles that you can plug in the content I'm going to show you how to come up with, and literally have infinite different ways that you can fill your calendar. So each one of these is a Google Doc with an example on it, in that you're going to see emails that I've written for clients of mine that you can repurpose and use your own way. Some of these are longer, some of these are shorter. Doesn't matter. It's just the style of it. So that's kind of something you can take. Like this one is an FAQ email. Literally turn an FAQ into an email. Ask your customer support team, hey, what are the top 5 questions you've heard in the last month? This one specifically focuses on sleep. Like, how can I sleep better? That's an easy one to cover for a lot of brands. And you can pull in, like the way I like to do these emails, give them some ways to do it on their own, and then position my product as the easier solution. Super simple. Moving on, Storymonial. This is a storytelling testimonial where I take a testimonial, I turn it into an email. Quick layout of how I do it. I literally do this exact same thing every single time. Intro the hero, talk about what life was like before. Tongue twister. Talk about the discovery of our product / solution. Talk about what life is like now. Call to action with our product. Super simple. Examples. Benefit focused. Talk about a specific benefit outcome your reader will get from the product. Examples. Feature focused. Talk about a specific feature of your product. This can be a differentiating feature that makes it superior to competition. So feature versus benefit. Feature is this car has wheels. Benefit is this car has wheels that will make you feel like you're driving on a cloud or last 50,000 miles longer than your competition, whatever it is. Behind the scenes. This can be about how your product is made, a sneak peek at something new coming soon about your team. It's simply an insider's look at your brand, products, culture, whatever it is. This is great for building trust. So this is the difference, like a good example of how you can write to supplement lists and health lists to look different. Like it's not just, here's a picture of our bottle and, oh my God, it's another sale for 20% off for 48 hours only. Flash sale, flash sale, flash sale. Shop now. Here's some bullets. You know, that stuff is just so overused. Like, yes, it'll work for a while, but then you're just fully focused on generating traffic nonstop to keep your list fresh. Instead, we can build a relationship. Like this specific email was for a client of mine. She went overseas and did like a mission trip for her birthday. And we sent pictures like her and the actual children. So, and yes, this was an actual promo too. So we had a birthday promo going on for her birthday, but she was spending her birthday in Bali. So super cool. Why would we not write an email about that? Next one, us versus them. Show your reader why your brand is different. Focus on casting stones at your enemies while drawing your core audience even closer. This is a Russell Brunson thing. Probably stole it from Dan Kennedy, who stole it from somebody else. A good example of this are the extreme diet crowds like carnivore, keto, etc. They're proud to be who they are. CrossFit is a great example of this when it blew up originally. It still is somewhat. Like whenever CrossFit hit, you couldn't even talk to somebody that did CrossFit without them bringing it up. It was like, like, nice day today, huh? I'm like, yes, got done with a WOD, bro. It was just a thing. Same thing with like people that are doing keto or carnivore, whatever it is. Like they're a crowd of people. And if you're working with an email list like that, focus on it. Talk about us versus them. This is what we do. Cast stones at the other people. You can do it in a non-tacky way. Quiz. This one's killer. This is one of my favorites. I use this all the time. Literally just reviewed one of my writers who was using this template for an email that we've got going out next week, I think. Maybe this week. But, you can't use it too often. It's really just designed to get clicks, so you got to know where you're sending them. But basically, you just ask 3 to 5 questions and then transition to something like, if you answered yes to any of these and all of your yeses are set up to basically be a negative thing that they want to solve. Like, do you ever get cravings for sweets before bedtime? If you answered yes to any of these, you would ask like 3 questions like that. Be like, check out this product. Super simple. Clicker style email. So these are like super short and they're super powerful. First, they help me gather data. So I can tag any of these people or I can pull the data and build a segment if I need to, and then send more emails to these people that raise their hand. It's kind of like a hand raiser template. Second, they can also drive a lot of sales because it's a validation of their selection. So people give their opinions. They love it. It's like the quizzes like, hey, which Disney princess are you? Like totally stupid shit, but it works. People want to do these things and they like to give their opinions. Well, they can click and go through and then we send them to a product page based on what they voted on. Super simple. Blog style. I'll rotate these in. Educational content. Look at this blog. Look at this PDF. It's just a value building thing and it helps to have a decent blog to pull content from. Or you use it to drive clicks too. So it's just good to have. Now, we've got 9 different styles here. As you write these, you may come up with more styles. You may already have some. You may have 15, 20 different styles or templates that you use. Again, most e-com brands, especially supplements, they're just doing the same exact thing. So whenever you zig and everybody else is zagging, it really works. I made a video of showing how to find infinite ideas for AI. So we're going to pull in that buyer persona and then use it to find infinite content ideas. So in this video, you'll see, which I'll play this and just mute it real quick here. But as I go through it, it's literally just a conversation and AI starts pumping out 20 different content ideas. And then we go deeper and it's more ideas. Give me 20 for each of those topics. And it's just exponential. So you can just keep digging. And you'll see like how I chat with AI throughout the whole video. But watch that video and you're just going to have unlimited ideas. And then you just keep talking to AI. It's super simple. But most people are not. They're giving up if they don't have some kind of mega prompt. But really all you need to do at this level of the game is talk to AI. I just have a conversation here, which you can see. It's a 5-minute video. And I walk away with hundreds of ideas for content. It's literally the easiest thing. So review that video and start having conversation with ChatGPT. Few things here to keep in mind with this process. Not all the ideas will be perfect, but they will spark a ton of ideas that will be perfect in your mind. You know your audience. You went through the buyer persona thing, but if you're a founder, CEO, anybody that has dealt with your brand for a long time and you know the brand, you're going to know which is going to pop and which sticks out to you, because in my experience, I write a lot for myself because that's who I work with. A lot of natural health brands, bodybuilding, those kinds of things. Like, I'm in that target market. So I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I can easily write for that. So if you're that person, the list manager, you're probably somewhat involved in your list anyways. So you're going to know what's going to stick out to you. Then you can take these same ideas, point number 2 here, and then add them into the templates. So if you take 200 different ideas that ChatGPT gave you, spread it across nine of these templates, you have 1,800 different emails right there. I mean, that's years and years of content, even if you write daily. That's what's going to set you apart with your emails. It's going to make you stand out then it's going to make you stand out more than 99% of your boring competition. They all look generic and very, similar and standardized. It's just like I said before, supplement brands, hero image, bottle, shop now, and then some bullets. Same thing over and over and over and over again. It's like the Febreze nose blind commercials, it's like people are going email blind to your cute little Figma files. Third point here, you could dive deeper if you wanted to by simply asking ChatGPT or whatever AI you use to expand on one point. So you could say something like, in the metabolism section, please give me 10 more pain points specifically about metabolism slowing as we age. And it's just exponential at that point. You just keep going. You can say that for every single one of these points. You have, I think I showed like 10 points with 10 bullets underneath each one. So that's 100 right there. If you asked it to expand 10 more, we're now at, 1,000? So, you could just keep going with it over and over and over again. You could just dive deeper, and there's layers and layers, and it just becomes more and more specific to the point that you're talking about. You just keep burrowing deeper. Last point here. Once you start testing certain topics with your list, they will tell you what they want by clicking and buying. Double down on those. So if you send out an email about sleep and improving your sleep, send out a couple of those and they just flop, take it off your list. You send out another one about metabolism and how to stoke that metabolism, and everybody starts clicking on it, double down. Start sending more of those. And that's where you can come back to the same ChatGPT thread that you're on or whatever AI you're using and talk more with ChatGPT about it. Be like, hey, this email about metabolism worked really well with my list. Tell me 20 more specific questions or pain points that people have whenever they're looking to boost their metabolism or their metabolic rate, whatever you want to call it, and see how it just keeps going and going. And then you can dig deeper into each one of those points like I showed you. So last section here, how to use AI to repurpose winning email angles. So the last thing I want to cover is just not being afraid to repurpose the same winning emails. I think a lot of list managers and founders and C-suite people that are running their own lists, they worry about things like, well, I just sent out an email about burning fat, or, I better wait a month. And like the email did well, and then you don't do it again. Like that's, the definition of insanity, however that goes. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Well, you could do the same thing over and over again, and if it's getting good results, you don't want it to get different results. So trust me on this. None of your readers know or care if they even do notice that you're doing this. Whenever you repurpose emails and talk about the same topic in a little bit of a different way, they're going to eat it up still. They're still interested in it until they purchase. It's kind of like scratching an itch. It's the same topic. You're kind of giving them like FOMO, and you're talking about it and hammering it over and over again just from different angles until they purchase. I do this across the board with all of my clients, and I have for years now. I think it's completely idiotic if you don't do this, because your list is literally showing you via engagement what they want to hear about, and then you're not giving it to them because you're worried about annoying them. So crazy if you do that. Quick example of how to do this with ChatGPT. Another video of me walking through exactly how I would do this. Quick conversation, no crazy prompts, nothing high level there that you need to understand. So one thing, a couple notes on this. You'll notice ChatGPT didn't do what I wanted to at first. I didn't restart the video. I just corrected it so that you saw this. I intentionally left that in there because sometimes it doesn't do what I want. It's not going to do what you want every single time too. It's a robot. You have to work with it and teach it how to do this stuff. Very common. You just continue working with it. You correct it. Don't get frustrated. Stay focused on what you want. And you can just hit the little stop button whenever it's generating if you see it going off course, and then correct what it wants. Another thing is I kind of went down a rabbit hole in this that wasn't intended, but the day in the life stuff that I went into in this video, super helpful. And you could even go down this rabbit hole deeper with ChatGPT, keep talking, and then add it to your buyer persona. So if you're making the buyer persona doc and you're going to pass it off to your team, add more stuff. Do this day in the life exercise that I went through in this video, kind of accidentally, but it worked out really well. So try that if you want to. Lastly, if all of this is overwhelming to you and you're just like, holy shit, that was a lot of stuff, Nick. What are you talking about? My team can help you out. Just let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And then if you do want our help, you can click this link here in the doc, and I will be glad to have a conversation with you. So thank you for watching this video, and let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.